Hello, all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart.
Inquisitor, Sanguine.
Skep, Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy.
And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Minions of the Zoo Super Sunday Show. I'm your host, Mr. Adam. And, you know, it's crazy the things that came about by the end of this weekend. We're seeing blame casted about all over the place, and we're seeing no solutions. You know, I think the one thing that we should all do is take a breather, take a step back, and look at the situation overall, and not let the emotions get the best of you. I know that's a kind of a hard intro. I was kind of hoping for a lighter one, but I had to get that out. You know, it's been kind of riding on me, but yeah. So I'm happy to introduce our panel this evening. We got the wonderful Jen.
Hello.
And the apparently the cooking or the bacon Sanguine.
Good evening, all, and I am cooking.
Finishing
up, or searing off my steak for dinner, and finishing off the potatoes that I'm making as well. So if you hear some crackling, that is the steak in a screaming hot skillet with a little bit of oil searing off the sides of it right now.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You know, I'm gonna work on the intro, kind of like the tough crowd type of style. So we'll work into it. But what do you guys think about the events that happened this past week?
There have been a lot of insane shit going on.
I would agree.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I agree.
Yeah, because there's the incident that everyone's been talking about, of course.
Yeah.
Then there's two additional incidents that no one's been talking about, or hardly anyone's been talking about. Because did you guys hear about the incident at the graduation party?
Oh yeah, where a lady stopped the dude with her pistol.
Yep.
And see, this is the even with the Buffalo shooter, is there was a number of other mass shootings that was happening around the same time, but for some reason the focus was on the Buffalo shooter. And then once it started coming out that this guy was, you know, had certain political ideals toward a certain area, you know, they quickly shut up about him. It's just, for me, it's how many times does this have to happen to where you're like, okay, what in the fuck is going on? You know? Not, I mean...
Because, yeah, there have been, I think, 2 or 3 different would-be shooters that I heard about in the past week that were each taken out by just Joe Schmo from Idaho, effectively. It was someone who was there, saw them start to do some shit, went, not today, motherfucker, and handled their business.
Dude, that reminds me. Hold on, real quick. Can I get an audio check to make sure that the stream is getting the audio? Because yesterday I went a fucking hour streaming, and then I was like, oh, I didn't hit this button. Oh, there's the audio. So I just want to make sure before we start.
Basically, pull it up in a window so that I can.
I don't want to goof off on that one again. Especially because it's not, I'm repping the zoo.
Yep. And let me just reload. It should pop up to the top again so I can find it easier. And there we go.
Oh no.
Let's see if the audio's coming in. Yep, I can hear.
All right.
Audio's good.
Nice. I was worried. It's one of those things that kind of creeps up your back, like, oh shit, I'm hosting, and kind of make sure I turn all the knobs on.
Yep, and to comment on something that Kokinowe said in chat, yeah, it is absolutely, because the people that want to make a narrative aren't able to cobble certain stories into their narrative, so they just exclude them entirely. Which is why the Buffalo shooter, the moment that it came out, that he once was a communist, but then became an authoritarian leftist by his own viewpoint, they decided, let's not talk about that guy anymore. Let's just kind of shuffle him off to the side, and the people that have managed to stop a would-be shooter haven't been mentioned in media very often, because the media really hates the idea that the way that you stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. They don't like that, because
there was
that doesn't give them power.
There was a church shooting too, where somebody opened fire in a church and then somebody shot him, and I think it was on video as well.
Oh yeah, you talking about the one from a couple years ago? Where
yeah, it was a few years ago.
The guy walks in with a gun. He fires once, and then an old dude immediately
just
draws his pistol, beads in, pops the grape, and then reholsters his pistol, saving everyone that would have been shot had he hesitated or had anything else happened, had he not been there. But there are like 3 or 4 other people that you could also see in the video that started to draw.
Reach. Yeah, he was
he was the fastest.
He won the quick draw.
I'd just like to point out that, in all honesty, the world should be grateful for the fact that most kids are kind of stupid. And I am going to say that because most kids, do you know why they rely on a gun? It's because it's the easiest thing to use.
Oh, well, hold on.
It's not that it's easiest. It's the most uncomplicated concept. Well, you point, you shoot, you shoot. I'm just saying, I pointed out, like, a while ago, that a smart enough kid figures out resin is a little bean. You put a little resin bean in every little envelope. You put it into a bunch of kids' lockers and a bunch of kids...
You mean resin?
That's what I was saying.
You said resin. Resin's
Ricin, sorry.
Yep.
I was going for ricin. But honestly, you know what I'm saying. All it takes is one kid being smart enough to figure that out. Is that shit illegal? Yes. Is it impossible to get? Clearly not, because people still ship it to people.
Oh, it isn't even difficult to get. It isn't illegal to get access to the source, because you guys know where ricin is mostly derived from, right?
Asia.
Castor beans.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of rice. Never mind. I'm sorry.
You're thinking rice or potentially opium.
Possibly.
But
and
yeah,
it's super deadly. You don't even have to ingest it. You don't even have to digest it.
Yeah, you get ricin from the castor plant,
yep.
which gives you castor beans and castor oil.
Mm-hmm.
And you're allowed to grow castor beans because there's legitimate uses for it.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do with it, though, is you can take certain parts of it, because various parts of the plant are extremely deadly. Other parts, if you process them right, very useful, but you take certain parts, you process them a little bit, and congratulations, you have one of the deadliest poisons on Earth. Then another example is one of the deadliest mass casualty incidents within the US was done with bombs.
Yes. Bath.
Yep.
Shit. Well, speaking of bombs, how quickly we went away from the New York subway bomber guy who had like gas bombs and shit. You know, again, this is what I'm saying though is we're looking at it and we're allowing ourselves. The thing that gets me is one, the police were told to stand down. In terms of going back to the Texas shooter, the police were told to stand down for somewhere between 40 minutes to an hour, just like Parkland. But and the other thing is, apparently somebody opened the door right as the dude crashed his car, and then she just left it open again. It's just, you know, people.
There was a lot of little things in there.
And then the third one that I just want to get out there is he for some reason went to this one classroom, barricaded himself in there, where this teacher was married to the dude who was I think he was a retired officer who was just recently doing drills of active school shootings days or weeks prior. It's just. And then he died of a broken heart. Who the fuck has died of a broken heart? When does?
Oh, that's actually fairly.
No. I understand, because I understand when they were explaining how it was, but it's like
if you already had heart problems though, something like that would absolutely.
I get that. But it's just one of those things where it's like, the odds of that. Come on.
I'm one of those things that sounds really convenient.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like, see, the problem is when everything that I just said, when it goes to the ears of people who are inputting this, a lot of times, especially if they're parents, because they have that extra, it's that there was a Family Guy where Brian had a kid, and they were like, hey, what would happen like this? Oh, I don't care. And then, what would happen if it was a kid? Oh my god, you just don't understand because you don't have a kid. Oh, you wouldn't understand. Oh. It's like, dude, control yourself.
Having a kid is buy into the world.
Yeah, it doesn't exacerbate anything. You can still, like, I don't need to be stabbed to know that being stabbed is painful.
I also don't have to be a parent to have all the feelings that are instinctive to a parent. The only difference is the acknowledgement that this child is not mine.
Well, even at that, because I was thinking, I was like, yo, think about it. Those police officers, they were sitting there in Kevlar and long rifles. They were told to stand down. They were given the excuse of they didn't want to get shot. But you couldn't tell me that none of them had an instinct of, you know what, I want to go run in there and stop this. This is not. It just baffles me that these people could.
This is what I said before, and I'm saying this as somebody who's speaking out my ass, who has no training whatsoever in regards to the Force. The minute I hear babies screaming and crying, it overrides wiring in my brain that says, I don't give a shit anymore. My body is moving. It doesn't matter. Like, I've done that before where I hear babies crying. It's just a kid's falling down. I see they've got parents. My instincts calm down because I realize it's handled. But it doesn't change the fact that my instincts are like, why is there a kid crying?
For that, it's just that long. And that's where I say, like, it's one thing where it's like, okay, you can understand where it was like a 10-15 minute thing of, oh shit, we didn't want to, we wanted to wait till we got heavily armored dudes coming in to be able to go in there. But an hour, and then at this point it's like, okay, people, like, can we at least say that something's going on where they were told to stand down for this long to allow this shit? Like, I'm sorry, there's not enough tinfoil to fucking wrap my head around it. Like, this is ridiculous. This was, as much as it sucks, this was poised to happen.
Yeah. It just seems like there's something very, very badly, it's either very, very badly organized in how it was handled, and that doesn't make sense.
Well, hold on.
Or
that's the other
there's
thing
more
too,
to it.
because that
Like,
because Obama, right when that happened, he puts out a tweet that says, "Hey, just as we're looking at this Texas thing, don't forget, that it's 2 years since George Floyd." So, again, it could be hey, the police are inadequate for, you know, doing whatever, and so we need a different way. It's like, again, it's disgusting, but at the same end, you have to look at it. It's like, yes, these people would do that. They have no problem doing this shit. They've done it before. They've done it again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it's who they're targeting too that makes it so obvious.
Well, if you look at the past weeks, they tried with just random people apparently, and didn't hit a chord. But now that it's children, you know, it's, and again,
of course, it's babies.
Well, and that's the sad thing is the moment you go into this, you go into that whole Brian Griffin thing. Oh no, you don't understand. Oh. It's like, yo, if we can't have a rational conversation about this, we're never. And again, it goes right back to Tim Pool fucking burning his fucking beanie. How do we get here? How do we get here? How do we get here? Is because we aren't asking ourselves the questions that we need to ask ourselves to figure out what in the fuck happened and how do we get past this point.
And to stress the lack of a reasonable conversation happening, you guys heard about Ethan Klein and him getting his shit bopped, right?
Hey, I heard about it, but could you explain, what did he say that got him bopped? And I'm going to go ahead
Most
and...
likely it was
open up
him
the
advocating for the bombing of the NRA convention.
Wait, what? He wanted to bomb the NRA. That's
yeah,
good.
He advocated for someone to bomb the NRA.
Yeah, he's lost his angle completely. Like, when he has me on Keemstar's side, I am siding with Keemstar more often than I am with Ethan Klein. And to be honest, to be fair, I think Keemstar's mellowed out a lot. Maybe he's become Dad Bod Keem. I don't know, but he seems a lot more likable now. So hey, you know, there's that. But Ethan is just he is just looking to capitalize on something. Like, he's grasping at straws for something. He's just like, you know, Republicans are the party of dead children. I'm like, the kid who did it wasn't probably a part of a party. He was 18 years old. Like, and the last one who was a Democrat. So, you know what? Let's not even play that game. Let's just play the part. He was an 18-year-old who was messed up. Yep. We have a mental health issue. I would say that about a lot of people, even from the left.
I'm more concerned about the people who think that an 18-year-old would be able to get the fundage for this. And I know there are people, oh, but student loans. It's like, yeah, but when I went to go apply for college loan, the college...
He wouldn't have got that anyway. He didn't graduate high school. He was missing credits.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when I went to get a loan, an 18-year-old can't just go out and get a loan for, like, a house. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a housing problem. This is retarded.
You have to have credit for that kind of shit.
It's so fucking, like, no. And I get, oh yeah, there's predatory credit card. Yeah, but they're giving you like $500, $600, not thousands of dollars. Like, what, are you fucking serious? Like, have
also,
you?
can we acknowledge that the predatory credit shit is partially bullshit? It's not entirely bullshit.
Yeah,
but
no, it's partially bullshit, dude.
Because they're acting like credit companies are going, hey, there's a bunch of people that they have almost zero chance of ever paying us back. Should we give them money?
We should just give them money and they'll have all this debt and then they'll never pay us back. Oh.
Yeah, no business will go, shall we just throw our money into a hole and never see it again? Is this a good idea? No, they'll go, if they were allowed to, they would go, oh, this person wants money. Do they have any chance of paying us back? No. How about
hold
they
on.
can fuck off?
Hold on. How's it going, Quiz?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
I said hi.
Oh.
I would just like to point out, I did
sorry.
say hi.
Oh,
Hi, Chris.
but continue, Sanguine, because I'm 100% with you, dude.
Yeah, it's something that no company would look at a bad investment and go, yes, we want to throw... Or, let me rephrase it. No company would look at a bad investment that is obviously a bad investment and be going, yep, this sounds brilliant. They'll look at a bad investment, think that it looks like a good investment, and do that. But going, shall we lend money to someone who will never be able to pay us back? No, they won't.
Dude, that just sounds...
Because they didn't for so fucking long, and then the government went, no, you need to start giving these people money.
Yo, yeah, it took the government for at least the housing. Yes, that's a double. Yep. There's 2 strikes. But it's like, dude, that's cartoon character to think that, yeah, they're just gonna toss out credit to people and give you thousands of dollars out of whim, and you have been not established that you are able to pay off anything, or that you have worked at a job for years.
I'm gonna play the ignorant Republican card, even though I'm not even from America. But isn't the kid also Hispanic?
Whoa.
No offense, but doesn't that go against their narrative about red states being like, racist towards, minorities and giving them guns?
Even though his last name was Ramos, okay? Ramos was actually Castile birthright, so he's Hispanic, like Spaniard. So he's essentially like a conquistador.
Yeah.
And so just like, conquistadors do, they go in there and just start shooting brown people. So that's what he did. And oh my god, I know. Look,
like I'm not blaming the Hispanic community, by the way. Like, we all have nutters. Here's a fact: every community of every shade has nutters.
No, hold on, because I was seeing some people saying like, oh shit, he's not brown, or he's not white, and all this shit. And it's like, dude. But if he was white, you would sit there and be Hernandez Cortez and all this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's not that. It's just with the media. They're petty like that. Yeah. Like, if he was white, that's all they would be going on about.
Run it through that.
They wouldn't even be talking about the guns. They'd just be like, see, white men are a problem.
They'd be like,
and guns are also a problem. But white men, more the problem.
These
Sorry.
fucking Spaniards come in...
Never mind the fact that you could be full-blown Mexican. You could be fucking full-blown Mexican and still have light skin, It's not often, but it happens sometimes.
Well, yeah. Yes.
Well, because the Spaniards and the native...
We are a melting pot across the North Americas,
He wasn't a proper mezzo, so, that's...
He did a thorough job of trying to get rid of the natives. I'm just saying, I don't know that part of history, but I know a little bit of that.
Hold on, real quick. I think we need to cleanse it. So, Quiz, could you give us a fuck you, Susan?
Yes.
Oh, well, Susan is very nice, very kind.
Whoa, wait, hold on. This is not the...
See, he's gone rogue. He's gone off script.
Oh no.
Job for you a job.
Hey, YouTube is a wonderful website. Everyone is enriched by its presence.
Oh my god.
Listen, she did let me. One of her
good?
guys did let me get away with a channel called Snow Mexicans. I will forgive her for being somewhat biased. And honestly, selling out for Hollywood trash, kind of stuff does piss me off, because I stand with the original creators on YouTube. Honestly, the guys who used to create shit. Not because I don't appreciate video game people and stuff like that. It's just I know a lot of people who used to make shit with that because you made more money, and even then they lost that too. I don't even care what side of the aisle you lean on. I just miss that. That's what I miss. I miss that part. Even the guys who argue with each other.
But anyway, Susan, go fuck yourself. This website is garbage. Yeah, that's all I need to say.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She's one of the few ladies where I'm just like, I really kind of wish a man was in charge. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, some men don't have balls either, but you know.
Ooh.
I was joking a while back that I don't think Elon has enough money to buy YouTube too. Because I wish he would. Like, if he got both.
On. Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
Twitter.
In the latter bit of time, he just made one major purchase. Let him.
Because I was like,
consolidate before he starts eyeing up others.
No, you see, that'll never happen because there are some companies that own something that is, you know, either culturally or monetarily, even, you know, YouTube is never operated at anything other than a loss. But Alphabet Company will never sell it, even though they're taking a loss on YouTube the entire time. Why? Because Alphabet owns the 2 most visited websites in the world. Yep. And that is more monetarily important than making sure that YouTube operates at a profit.
Yeah, it's just so much shit's going on.
Yep.
But I do absolutely miss the old school Wild West of YouTube.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong. I do agree with splitting up the children. Like, that was always a little bit risky anyway. Because, like, everyone, I think, even back then, was finding little things and being like, yeah, well, let's report these people. Let's report those people. You know, that kind of shit. So making sure that was a thing, I've always kind of agreed with that one. Just because there's always going to be predators everywhere. Doing your best to make sure to, like, limit that, good idea.
Are you talking about COPPA?
Not necessarily all of COPPA, but some of COPPA, because they did have a point. They did. Like, they just did. I didn't appreciate how they went about it, but it's just one of those things where, like, when you went to the kids' YouTube and you saw what a lot of people were pushing, even if it wasn't the racy, sexy, gross stuff, like the pedo shit who should honestly burn in hell more than anything else, it was even just the people exploiting kids for money, that kind of shit. Like, I don't agree with that either. You know? Like, kids who steal their parents' wallets because they're kids.
Wait.
I don't agree with that either. I appreciate YouTubers who are like, hey kid, you know, if you really like my stuff, ask your parents first.
Who's stealing wallets?
Oh,
there were a lot of early scams.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like, one of the Paul brothers got in trouble for that shit. Because he was encouraging his very young viewer base to spend large amounts of money.
Oh, hey, I know this is really random, but Sanguine, we were talking about this the other day. The I Hate Mondays lady.
Yes. Brenda Spencer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, yeah. You know what? School shootings, that happened a long time ago too. Nobody was fucking...
Another example... Ooh, go ahead.
Think the biggest issue when it comes to incidents like this is if you listen to the people that commit them. How many times has a school shooter said that they'll be a bigger name than Columbine?
Dude, and hold on. What's the name of the 2 Columbine dudes?
Klebold and Harris.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's the name of the fucking...
They've got a kind of unforgettable names, dude. Klebold, come on.
I forgot it. I didn't recall that.
Oh.
But that's what I mean when people sit there and say that one of the things that they are looking for is name recognition. I don't know, unless you're really looking towards that aspect of stuff. You don't know these people. Like, they're not. You know about the incident, the Columbine incident, but you don't know about the person who did it. You know, like, you know very little.
When it comes to those two, a fair number of people do know their names. When it comes to other incidents, yeah, people don't remember all the other names, but they remember some of them.
They remember the schools.
I don't remember the Sandy Hook shooter's name.
Do you remember the Northwestern college shooter, the Asian dude?
VTech?
Yeah, VTech shooter.
Yeah, I don't remember his name now.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's not so much like, okay, they want recognition. I understand that, like, mentality.
They never get recognized by their names. They get recognized by their school.
By their deeds.
Well, the reason why is because sane people, not people who like to glamorize serial killers or any of those kinds of lunatics, see these people and sit there and say, you know, you wanted to be famous. Well, you know what? Fuck you, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and give you what you want by remembering your goddamn name.
Well, hold on.
You can go fuck yourself.
But at the same end, I think a lot of people look at this as being the equivalent of the people who were with the Mason, the Mason guy, right? The Helter Skelter dude, where they were sitting there. Yeah, where they were sitting there like, oh man, all these people are going off and you know, trying to you know, get with this guy. It's like, okay, but at the same end, on the opposite end, you get the pedophile who was walking out and then the dad shot him in the head. Do you remember that pedophile's name? I don't remember his name, but I know he got shot in the head.
I don't remember the shooter's name either.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I don't remember the father's name,
exactly.
But I do remember the interview with the father. That was amazing.
And he is...
It's
because it was an interview with him a few years ago when he was much older. I think it was in like 60s or 70s at the time of the interview. And the interviewer asked, do you ever regret anything that you did? And his response was, I regret trusting him. I don't regret shooting him. Shit, yeah, good on you, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, I think the problem is that even though they might have accomplished
Pederat Downey,
you know, the part where we don't remember their names, we still kind of hype them up. I mean, even up here, it still gets hyped up. And it has to do with the media. It absolutely has to do with the media. More than just that they're not promoting the name. It literally affects all of the politics. All of the media just loses their mind. Even the celebrities lose their minds. Everybody loses their minds. And they should. They were children. But it's all about politics. It's not about the children. There are so many people who are grandstanding on the deaths of these poor babies. And honestly, their poor parents... I mean, some of their parents might be trying to buy in on it a little bit because they did just lose a child, at least get some money for it. But sorry, some of them I don't know. Some of them I the way they were talking, I was just like, your baby just died.
Oh, damn it.
You know, I get getting money so that your kids can get psychiatric help in case they need it, you know, and so you don't have to deal with the grief. I agree with that 100%. But then you see some of the interviews, and it's just people preying on these parents and the community. You know, Yeah, there was a lot of that I was seeing, and it's just, you know, the next shooter sees that. He sees that, or she sees it, and they act like women don't do it too. The last one who was female, who was trans, it does happen. It doesn't happen very often. I'm just saying.
One we referenced earlier, the I Hate Mondays. Brenda Spencer was a girl, and she was one of the early school shooters that everyone knew about.
And with her, it was just she was shooting across the street to the school. So it's like it's one of those things where we can't really tell, you know, when things are gonna happen. Like especially with this one, she was just crazed. I don't even know how to explain it. She literally just decided to shoot people.
What I wish would happen is I wish we would do a better job as a culture of focusing on the victims of the incident rather than the shooter. Do a bit of the information on the shooter. Figure out what might have prompted them to do the shooting. Vast majority of the time, it's going to be they were fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That is a valid answer to why did they do this.
Hell.
But don't do these massive deep dives and story after story after story after story about getting inside the killer's mind.
Well, see, the reason why those things happen, and it comes from, I think, a good place, or at least it originates in a good place, is the fact that people, when they see these sorts of events, they want to know, and they desperately want to know why. Why would a person, you know, fall so far from societal norms and, you know, regs and try to understand how and why and try to prevent a person from getting to the point where they feel that doing these sorts of things is necessary and, in their opinion, a good thing to do. I understand why. The problem is that when you do these sorts of things, when you try to do a deep dive, you need to take into consideration and take a step back and say, how far am I going in telling this story, and why am I doing it? Am I doing it for the fact that it is the sensational news of the now, or am I doing it because I desperately want to know why this happened and try to prevent it? And if it is the former, then realize that you are a vulture preying on the fears of people in a dark and bad point of their life, and that makes you a scumbag and a piece of shit. Which we all know. Most media and news coverage and all that kind of stuff, that's exactly their goal. That's their aim. And I say it's mean-spirited. It's non-empathetic. There's nothing good about what they do and why they do it. And when you realize that, you as the media target, the consumer, the news watcher, need to take those things into consideration and then figure out whether or not you want to trust that media outlet to tell you the truth or tell you what they want to tell you based around their interpretation of the truth. Because they're no longer reporting facts at that point. If they're turning around and trying to say, well, you know, Klebold and Harris, they did it because they listen to heavy metal music. Well, then you know why they're telling you these things. They're not telling you anything objectively true about Clinton, Klebold, and Harris. You know, they're not telling you anything objective when they say, well, they ran around and they killed, how many people died in Columbine? 30-something people, I think?
Yeah.
They killed around these...
I mean, they recorded step by step what they were gonna do.
Yeah. Yep. They killed this many people because they played Doom. Then you know what kind of person that reporter is.
Yeah.
And you know not to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what I really wish would happen is when they're doing reports on shit like it should be that their names are never actually said. It should be like, yeah, asshole number 1 and asshole number 2.
Asshole's not allowed to be said on TV.
I know, but I'm using that as a throwaway example of call them prick 1, prick 2. I don't give a shit. Give them
perpetrator 1 and perpetrator 2.
See, I don't even think that it should be as neutral as perpetrator. I think that it should be flat out, yeah, these people are shit.
I also kind of want to make an example of them because they do this shit in front of other old people who believe the same kind of garbage. And it's like the games that they blame this shit on. I'm like, do you know how much time people spend on those games to get anywhere with those games unless they're like game gods? If they were spending that much time playing a game, they wouldn't have time to plan what they did. Like, it's just simple little things like that they think that we can't think of. I'm a dumb little girl. I can't think, oh, well, how long did it take me to build a base in Ark? Oh, it totally convinced me to eat people. You can eat yourself in Ark. Did you know that?
You can also eat poop.
Yes, you can. I miss that game sometimes. Yeah, you can. You can eat your corpse. I didn't do that. I used to feed myself to, like, you know, dillos, so I could time a dillo, but I use the leather.
That just reminds me of The Forest. Did any of you ever play The Forest?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
So when it first came out, a friend of mine and I would play The Forest fairly routine. And they did a stealth update at one point that added in you can eat people. I think my friend and I were the first people to find out about this. Because we were playing the game and we realized that one of the legs that we had gotten from Cannibal had the fresh tag on it. So we immediately went running over to the fire, threw it on the fire, cooked it, I ate it, and then we went, wait, how many people are just obligate cannibals now? We looked online, no one was even mentioning it. No one was mentioning it for like a week or so after that. Meanwhile, my friend and I just became an obligate cannibal. He became sometimes cannibalistic, sometimes he would eat a lizard.
I've been watching The Walking Dead lately, so the minute you mentioned that, I was just like, God, the next time I play that game, remind me to create a character called Tainted Meat.
Nice.
That way people are less likely to eat me, maybe. Yeah, in case any... Oh, go ahead.
Is there a multiplayer game about Walking Dead?
I don't know. I wouldn't be... You know what? I think there is.
Okay.
I don't know that it's PC, though. Let me look it up, because I'm pretty sure there was one.
Nice cannibalistic wizard in Conan Exiles. I followed the
Yep.
cannibal guy. It makes sense. I mean, look at your fucking screen name.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't follow the cannibalistic god.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be disappointed any other way.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
it's
gee.
just infuriating that they keep on laser focusing on certain stories and certain aspects of certain stories.
Like I said, when you blatantly see the agenda and not saying, and they're not telling you the facts or telling you the story and instead telling you their interpretation of the story. They're the ones that are saying that this is the reason why the person did what they did. You don't know that. You can speculate on it. You can tell, like, this is their background, these are the events that led up to the shooting, so on and so forth. But you can't editorialize and insert yourself into it. It's not about you. And it's those sorts of people that really should be the people that are demonized the most when these sorts of events happen.
Hey, you know, David Hogg has a word to say, sir.
David Hogg can go fuck himself. He wasn't even there.
That's just it. He wasn't even there.
No, he was riding his bike there.
The shooting.
Hell,
I don't understand.
I mean, listen. Even for this one, one of the girls that I took a little bit more credit from than necessarily the media was still not there, and it was just this girl was talking about one of her traditions. So, I guess their seniors for their high school tend to spend a day with their little kids, you know, in the smaller schools. And so her school, the one that he was from, he wasn't allowed to go. He missed the day. He got the days confused. They'd gone the day before. He'd been meaning to go that day, and he got the days confused. And she was just talking about how, like, they'd been there the day before, you know, talking to these poor little kids about their futures and their dreams and stuff like that. And she's just like, why won't they just talk to me instead of the media? Because the media just wants to eat these poor little children. And I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll listen to you. You weren't there either, but at least you're not talking. You're talking from the community.
Yeah, from the perspective of the community.
You know,
not trying to tell the story of someone who's not here to tell their story.
Yeah.
Oh, and do you guys want to hear one of the most disgusting takes about the Texas incident? So you know how the incident ended up being ended, right? Do you know who actually brought the shooter down?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Yeah, he was a border patrol.
Yeah,
border patrol cop. Yeah,
off-duty Customs and Border Patrol. So when people found out that it was an off-duty Customs and Border Patrol person that had eliminated the shooter, a number of people came out with absolutely disgusting takes. One of them reported 18 children dead in Texas, and ICE is on scene, which means many parents will have to risk detention in U.S. concentration camps while checking if their kid is alive.
Wow.
Dude rushes in, gets shot several times as he exchanges fire with the shooter, kills the shooter, or I think, yeah, kills the shooter, right? The guy ended up dead, not just taken into custody, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
I think the last... don't get me wrong, I have not been following this, but I believe that it was a situation of, you know, alive rushed to the hospital and died at the hospital.
Okay. So...
like it typically is.
neutralizes the shooter, let's phrase it that way. And people, rather than going, fuck yeah, that man's a hero, instead start going, well, he's probably just going to deport parents when they show up. Fuck you.
Of course he wanted it. He was itching at the chance to shoot some brown mans, so...
Yeah.
Fucking
that
people.
type of shit is infuriating. The guy who rushed in and dealt with the issue
for it, because he would have shot them too. You know, he would have. But I was just seeing the one guy go in, knowing that they wouldn't let me go in if it was my kid, I'm sorry, that guy would be Superman to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, that's a turkey. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd go in too, as well. I'm sorry.
No, good job.
And every time
hold on.
someone ends up stopping, everyone that stops an incident like this should be massive news. It should be something that is reported. The woman who stopped the graduation party shooting.
Well, hold on. There's even instances that are coming out where apparently parents were breaking through the police line and taking their kids out. And then there's also instances where police were going in and getting their kids out. Mm-hmm. Again, this whole incident sounds really fishy. So,
Mm-hmm. But like I was saying, every time that someone ends an incident like that and saves people by doing so, that should be major news. And it pisses me off that so often you don't hear about it from most of the news stations. Like I said, the woman that ended the graduation party shooting, everyone should fucking know about it. The guy from the Texas church that Adam was talking about earlier, everyone should know about him and what he did. There's so many incidents where it's this. The one guy who was a firearm instructor, and it was a different Texas shooting, or Texas church shooting, where he was just at home, he heard shots being fired, he immediately picked up his gun and started running towards it, and he ended up being the person to injure the shooter enough that he finally went down. That guy should be massive news. Everyone should know about it. But these are the stories that tend to get brushed under the rug as quickly as they can.
Well, there's the reason why is there are some people that don't want to report these sorts of things because good guy with a gun is going a step too far for their sensibilities. In terms of legality, I don't think that vigilantism should be rewarded at all either. But at the same time, if you stop a mass shooting, that is something to be lauded and appreciated.
Yeah, there's a difference between what I would consider vigilante justice and that.
Well, and emergency response is the major thing. Yeah. And it's a fine line that the media has to.
Oh shit! I got first.
Has to dance when it comes to this sort of thing because they can't come right out and say those sorts of things and stuff. But then the bias becomes readily apparent when that is disregarded to make assumptions based around the events rather than and editorialize rather than tell the fact. Because here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, when someone says, hey, someone came into this this place to shoot it up, and he was stopped by another person with a gun, neither person should be looked at as a hero. Neither person. And the reason why is because someone is taking the law into their own hands. Like it or not, that's the truth. The truth is that they had done vigilante justice to prevent deaths in an emergency response situation, but still they did something by all intents and purposes illegal. You can't murder someone with the intent to save other people. That makes sense.
You can absolutely do something in defense of another.
There is excuses for things like that, but at the same time, it should not be encouraged. But when people sit there and say, well, this guy with the gun, can you believe that this guy with the gun was allowed to just shoot someone? Then you're making your bias readily apparent.
See, I will slightly disagree with you, because to me, vigilante justice would be the death wish type situation, where you start actively seeking out shit. That's when you go into vigilante justice. If you're just there, you see this start, and you have the ability to end it, that's not vigilante justice. That's you acting in defense of yourself and others. And there's a major difference between those. The person acting...
It should not be encouraged by the media, though. And especially in
I would disagree. I'd say that acting in defense of yourself and others, I think, should be encouraged. Vigilantism should be discouraged.
You're walking a fine line there, and that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I would say that it is absolutely a fine line, but I think that it is still one that should be clearly stated, because if you just say, well, it's vigilantism to respond to the crime, then you end up with shit like New York metro or subway system rape, where a woman was getting raped in a metro car or a subway car where there were other people there. There's recording of this happening. Because
the Asian lady?
Someone... Was it the Asian lady? I just remember the video of it because...
Yeah, it was like in the subway area and people were just recording it.
Yep, and people were just recording it rather than anyone going, there's someone being raped in front of me. I have the ability to stop this.
By the same token, Sanguine, when you put that expectation of that sort of immediacy and emergency response on people rather than trained individuals, is where you get people acting as vigilantes. Again, you can't go around taking the law into your own hands and do these sorts of things, because you run the risk of overstepping that bound. You then become the criminal.
Well, hold on.
Even if it is in defense of others.
Isn't that where we got those movies like, what's it called? Death Wish. Death Wish. Yeah.
By default, you're also a criminal by sitting there and watching it and not doing anything either.
Technically, you are not.
Used to be different. You used to be held accountable for that quiz. Did you know?
No.
You were up here. You used to be held accountable for it.
No.
I mean,
what it is you are held accountable if you don't report it. If you don't report it, you are held accountable.
No,
because no policeman is going to sit there and say, "Well, why didn't you go over there and stop that guy with a gun?" Are you going to are they expecting you to go over there and get shot or stabbed? No, they're not.
She's talking about the hue and cry laws, which were a thing in both the U.S. and in Canada, as well as England, where during the hue and cry law time, it was actually a crime for any able-bodied man to not do something in those incidents. It was the hue and cry law. It was the responsibility of every able-bodied man to respond to an incident like that. It was at the same time that we had bucket brigades like that.
Oh yeah, where that was part of the contingents, right? Or contingent, where you have to pull duty for being a firefighter.
Yeah, it was at the time when hue and cry was around. You would have the bucket brigade laws as well, and under both, it was if an emergency were to arrive, every able-bodied man had the responsibility, the legal responsibility to respond. So, if there was a fire, every able-bodied man had to form up the bucket brigade. If there was a person that was being assaulted, every able-bodied man who saw the initial incident and or heard the hue and cry, which is where that title comes from, which is when a crime is happening, someone would give hue and cry. They would yell, like, someone's being attacked, someone is killing someone, someone stole my purse, shit like that. And after the hue and cry, everyone had the responsibility.
Sanguine, Jen, you are wrong. I am looking at the law right now. Hue and cry, number one, it was abolished in the 19th century.
Oh yeah, I'm saying it's old as shit.
What it is that you are, and I am correct in this, you are obligated to report the incident. That's what hue and cry is. If you see someone having their property stolen, if you see someone being mugged, you need to yell stop.
That is lawyer talk.
You need to yell stop. You need to yell stop thief or things like that. You need to report the incident taking place. You are not intended to try and stop that incident from taking place. This is literally what it says right here on law for
Welcome to Lawyer Talk quiz. That is called Lawyer Talk. That is what we've become. Lawyer Talk.
This is literally what the
obligation.
obligation.
To correct something, I'll need to look into it as well because I remember there being the hue and cry, and then I remember
this is the Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia definition of hue and cry. Hue and cry, formerly in English law, pursuit of a criminal immediately after he had committed a crime or committed a felony. However, witnessed or discovered the crime was required to raise a hue and cry against the perpetrator, e.g. call out "stop thief," to begin pursuit. All persons within hearing were under the same obligation. It was punishable offense to not join in the chase and capture. The perpetrator was promptly brought into court, and if there was evidence of having been caught red-handed, he was summarily convicted without being allowed to testify on his own behalf. The hue and cry was abolished in the early 19th century. Possibly modern survivals are obligated to serve on a sheriff's posse and to assist a police officer in pursuing a suspected culprit.
Yeah, that covers, from the sounds of it, it covered both aspects where you had to be involved in the chase and apprehension.
And this was things that was also in England.
Yes.
It is not something that was in the United States.
Well, it was in the United States very early on. It was in Canada, and it was in England. It originated under common law, if I remember correctly. It pretty much got phased out in the U.S. with the advent of organized police departments and sheriff's departments.
And that's just it. I'm not talking about somebody going out and being like, well, I think there's this guy who's a pedophile, I'm gonna go and hunt him down. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone being like, holy shit, I'm watching my girlfriend be robbed. She looks like she's under attack, so I've attacked this guy to defend her. Holy shit, he hit his head. Oh fuck, he's dead. Does he go to jail for that?
Yes.
Okay. That's terrible, quiz.
That's the United States justice system. That's the reason why you sit there and get people that rob a house and get stabbed and then are able to get millions of dollars from a person that they were intending to rob.
Well, if the person gives chase after, or depending on the area, some areas
It all comes down into interpretation of a justifiable use of force.
I think it's Michigan. I could be wrong. I think it's Michigan. It's one of the northern states. That you have the obligation to flee, and you can only respond with force if you have no possible ability to escape. And there's a number of states that have those laws. If you have a castle doctrine state, then if they're in your house, you can respond according. Wait, no, it's not Michigan. It's one of the others.
It's trespassing laws. Florida has them, I think, too.
No, I'm saying the one where you have the responsibility to flee.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not sure if Michigan has that. That'd be
yeah,
really
it's
weird
not
if
Michigan because I just remembered Michigan has one of the largest castle doctrine ones, but there's a number of states that have responsibility to flee. So it's if you have the ability to escape, then you are not allowed to respond with force. Whereas other states have the castle doctrine, which is if it happens within your house, then you can respond with force without any problem. And then there's the issue tends to come in one of two forms. So there was the you weren't allowed to do booby traps law.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think that was ever allowed in the United States at all.
It was never outlawed in the United States for not never. It wasn't for the longest period of time outlawed. But then there was a case where someone booby trapped a home that they owned that anyone that was meant to go there, they informed, but they had a bunch of people breaking into that house and stealing shit out of it while they were out of town and shit like that. So they booby-trapped their home, and they got in trouble for booby-trapping their home after the courts decided that that goes beyond the scope of the castle doctrine that was in the area. But the main time that people get in trouble with the castle state is when they continue the aggression after the person has left the area. So someone's breaking into your house, they're climbing in through your window, you shoot them, they survive the first shot, they immediately jump out the window and they hit the sidewalk. If you shoot them again, you've now committed a crime.
There was an incident like that happened in California not too long ago of a person that was trying to break into someone's house, and he shot them twice. The first shot was a chest wound, and as the person was trying to leave the house after being fucking shot, he pursued her and shot her in the back of the head.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't agree with that. Like, I'm talking about like an initial shot, like.
Yeah,
and even then, I'm even like, you know, it was a dude against a girl. I don't know. You guys have the guns more than I do. I'm just saying, like, you know, I get legal doesn't really comply with human instinct, but I just don't understand how that works with human instinct. Like,
the major problem in the reason why these sorts of things are not and should never be under the obligation of the citizen to perform is because it is impossible for a citizen to prove the circumstance of justified use of force is the legal terminology. Because when you do that, you're not wearing a body cam. You are not under the oath and testimony of being a law enforcement officer. You are not implicitly trusted with the enforcement of law. That's the reason why police are given such wide berth when it comes to the things that they do, and even if they are found to be in the wrong when it comes to their use of force while in the line of duty, why they are still not punished as severely as a citizen would be. Is because of those sorts of things.
Like
and
I said,
it's almost impossible to prove that if you are a citizen.
When I brought up the hue and cry, I was talking about an archaic law. I wasn't acting as if that should be a thing still. I was just saying that we did at one point have obligations that
I'll say this for hue and cry. There is like there are limitations based on the citizenry around those sorts of ideals. Those still persist to this day. In fact, actually, New York has a very infamous example of a woman that was in an alleyway. She was mugged and stabbed like 2 or 3 times in full view, and of like dozens of people. And the perpetrator ran away because they thought, holy shit, someone's gonna call the cops and I better get the fuck out of here. Every single person, when it was brought up to them, thought someone else will call the police, and no one did. And isn't sure enough, when the perpetrator didn't, see police coming, he came back and stabbed her again and again and again until she was dead.
Yep.
And then left, and no one still called the police.
Isn't that that old doctrine of somebody was getting murdered on the street and nobody said anything? Because
so one of the things that you learn very early on when you're going through any sort of Leo, fire, or medical training is when there's an incident, you don't say, someone call 911. You point to one person and you say, you call 911. Yeah. If it's someone's having a heart attack and you're an EMT, then you do one person, you call 911, you go here, ask where their AED is, you do this, you do that, I'm going to do this. And you point to each person and you give them a specific task. Because if you just say, someone call 911, you'll 9 times out of 10 end up with no one doing a fucking thing.
Yeah.
1 time out of 10, you'll end up with at least one person react. And, 1 time out of 100,000 times, you'll end up with fucking everyone immediately pulls out their phone.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, isn't the current reaction or the current equivalent to that type of study is they're not gonna call the police, but they're gonna pull out their phone and videotape you being assaulted or something.
There's a lot of reaction that people will now just videotape rather than doing.
Didn't mean to say that as Mario Bros. Was.
So this is how I know that Democrats probably really do waste money in terms of solutions. I'm thinking of New York, and I get it doesn't cover the whole city, but something that I would put in for at least the transit, and you don't even have to talk to people, but on every single one of those hand posts that people use to help keep them from falling on their ass, if you put a little button on there that lets the camera that you could put in every single car, even 2 of them, turns on the sensor, be like, hey, something's going on, there's an incident. Even if there's nothing going on, if it went straight to somewhere where it's like, oh, we can report this right away, it would at least get reported right away. It would be something that's easily anonymous because you don't have to say anything. And if it's nothing, then it's nothing. It's not like New York doesn't have that kind of money, but you wouldn't see them putting funds towards something like that.
I
know it doesn't solve everything, but it would at least.
Well, I'm against that idea just because I'm against state surveillance. But
yeah, it's kind of
because I could see the ways in which it could be abused.
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah, I already kind of live with it, so.
I know.
So I just looked up the duty to retreat laws because which states. There's a bunch of them that have been overturned as of late, which is nice to see. There's still some on the books, though a lot of them now have a carve-out where it will allow you to defend your home. Some of them used to not have this, or most of them did not have this. The most extreme ones absolutely did not. But the states that still have duty to retreat are Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island.
Oh, northeastern.
Say again?
Oh, a lot of northeastern areas, right?
Yep. A lot of New England and the East Coast. But, like I said, the most extreme versions of them, and a lot of them used to have the most extreme version, unfortunately, was even if someone was breaking into your house, if you had the ability to get out of it, you had to flee your own house. which is fucking ridiculous.
Mike R brought up Marvin Catco, which is Catco versus Briny.
Is that the booby trap one?
Yeah, this is a court case decided by the Iowa Supreme Court in which two homeowners, Edward and Bertha Briney, were held liable for battery or injuries caused by a trespasser, Marvin Catco, who set off a spring gun set as a man trap in an abandoned house on the owner's property. The case thereafter received wide attention in legal circles, becoming a staple of tort law casebooks and law school courses.
What?
Yep.
Hold on.
That was the case that I was referring to, where the person booby trapped a home.
Have you guys seen the video of that Asian lady who shot up the intruders?
Yeah.
Going after her cookies?
I remember that one. But I mean, it was an instant shot. Like she wasn't thinking, planning out shots. It was just like, oh god, this guy's here. Shoot. You know. Well, I think she was thinking like a cop. Like, don't stop until he stops moving.
Yeah, just
and that's I get why that's maybe. I mean, she won her case, though. I think she did.
Did she? I hope so.
Even I kind of get where that might be considered excessive.
No,
because once he's down.
No, not at all.
So,
you don't know what's going on.
To give the use of force terminology to them.
That's what I mean, though. Like, I get where she's coming from.
Yep, but to give the proper terminology for it, it's that you don't stop shooting until the threat has ended.
Yep.
It's not a shoot to kill. It's not a shoot to wound. You shoot until the threat is over.
Yeah, it's been eliminated, yeah.
And that is the way that use of force is taught by fucking everyone, I think.
I would say so.
Shoot until the threat is over.
I just want to break out of the conversation and listen, RGT 85, a fucking pinball, NES pinball, black box pinball, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is awesome. Look at this game. This is oh, damn it. Well, it was good. It was good. It was fun. And you know what? You should like that because your history, sir. All right.
You lost your ball, though.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? He looks horrible.
I do admit I miss free pinball on my computer. I do.
Oh, you know, I wish I could play that, what was that, 3D pinball on the Windows? Space pinball or something like that?
Oh, yeah, the space pinball from the old Windows machines.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that.
I think you can still get it.
I'm sure there's a place to get it, but yeah.
You just have to use that weird Microsoft Games thing.
Yeah. Fucking, was it Games for Windows or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
yeah, there's a couple of free ones on Steam anyway. Like, yeah, I'll get a free pinball game. Sure.
Or you can have that, what's that, Minesweep?
It's way better than owning an actual pinball machine. You would not believe the fucking upkeep on those things.
Yeah.
Oh, I can believe it.
They are massively
that many
expensive
fucking
to own.
lights and rubber bumpers and...
Oh, dude, are you, Quiz, are you aware of TNT Amusements?
No.
They're a local arcade place. They've been having some issues recently, obviously, because, you know, it's the COVID shit and all that. But,
of course, yeah.
But they're
in favor of titty and titty entertainment.
No, it's
this is a good company.
Arcade stuff. I wouldn't wanna be this dude's titty on titty, but they're a good local arcade source. You know, it's kind of weird that the Midwest has a lot of arcade machine collection sources like Galloping Ghost and
oh hell yeah, Galloping Ghost is great.
Yeah. What was the Aladdin's Castle? I think.
Entertainment.
Amusements, maybe.
Oh, amusements. Okay.
I don't want to, like, I want to
See, like I said, they're missing the trick. They should become titty and titty entertainments. That's what the T should stand for.
What?
It can still be
Alright,
arcade systems and pinball systems. Just have some titties in.
I have
You need at
to.
least 2 sets of titties in order to be titty and titty.
I have to show off this this image. This is an image that immediately comes up when you look for TNT amusements in Chicago, Illinois. I'm just gonna share this here. That's an image. That's the image that comes up.
I don't know if I want to see it. Hold on.
Nice.
Damn it. Damn, because I gotta be fair to them, because they were, yeah, TNT Amusements Incorporated.
Largest used game showroom in the world.
Is that them?
Inventory. Arcade games, bargain basement deals. Let's look at bargain basement deals. Please look below for the video information.
I'm guessing it has to be largest by... Because I would have a hard time believing that there's not a Japanese one that's larger by inventory size.
Oh man.
Our bargain basement video. Welcome to TNT Bargain Basement Bonanza. This special listing highlights the machines we are offering for a fraction of the full retail cost. Typically they are working fine but not shopped or reconditioned yet. They could be a trade-in that we sold years ago, etc. Each machine will have a description of what was done and not done to it. They are sold as is with no warranty. All our retail sales include the first 30 days free and a small deductible charge for the next year plus parts, should the service be needed. Prices as low as $100. In many cases, we are able to offer repairs to these machines, but at our regular service prices. Most of the issues are in fact cosmetic. Typically, these are taken in trade toward one of the reconditioned machines. You are welcome to come in to TNT and see. Where is this place located?
I think they worked with James Rolfe to do the what's it called? What was that arcade game? That they said the CIA made. Ah, shit.
Southampton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Okay, so yeah, northeast. I'd drive away, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what? If they have good prices.
And you aren't talking Narco, are you?
No. Polybius.
Oh, yeah.
James Rolfe did a Polybius video with this group.
It seems like their primary business looks to be pinball.
Yeah, they do a lot of pinball stuff. They
do all kinds of machines though.
It's not like here in the good old Chicagoland area where we have a lot of tea bowling. Or what's it called?
Golden tea.
Golden tea.
Yes. Well, that's because again, we have in the Chicagoland area we have Midway. I think we still do have Midway. I don't think they've left.
No, Midway's still here, I think.
But we have Midway, and then we have in point of fact for Golden Tea, a place called Incredible Technologies. And Incredible Technologies is the producers of the Golden Tea game series. And they're right out of Vernon Hills, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to find a place that has an old school Golden Axe 2 cabinet.
See, I want
Revenge of
if
Death
I want anything from Golden Axe, I want fucking the Golden Axe that never made it to console. Because Golden Axe 2 made it to console. That's fine.
An edited version of Golden Axe 2.
Well, the arcade 1-up has I think
Revenge of Death Adder.
Yeah, I think it has all of them. So,
including Revenge of Death Adder.
Yeah, and and even I think they tossed in their Altered Beast.
Nice
for good measure.
Because the thing that drove me crazy about the console version of Golden Axe 2, the giant ridden by a dwarf.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Revenge of Death Adder.
Yeah, it was Revenge of Death Adder.
Oh, it was Revenge of Death Adder that had that one? I thought it was.
Yeah.
They did the classic Sega thing where, because they did it with Sonic. Sonic 2, the American team made the Sega Genesis game, and the Japanese made the Sega CD game. And with Golden Axe, they did the same thing. The Genesis team was American, and they made Golden Axe 2, and then the Japanese team made the arcade game. I don't know why they split their teams up, but they thought it would help them. It didn't.
But yeah, that character amuses the shit out of me. Because why wouldn't you like a giant being ridden by a dwarf into battle?
Yeah. And I think there was a centaur in there too.
Yeah, the woman was a centaur.
I think if they're gonna look, I really like how they did Streets of Rage 4. And if they're gonna go that route, do that with Golden Axe. Sweet Lord, do that.
Yeah, it would be great.
How my brain works. You guys are talking about something completely normal, and my brain goes to this meme from last week that somebody posted of this girl porn with like this magical Pegasus man and this chick, and I'm like, I don't want to read that book. I think it was based off of some Greek mythology or something, I don't know. But I was like, well, that's where you got your centaurs from.
Yeah.
How Chiron got his rocks off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's really kind of cool. Adam, I'm looking more at the showroom floor for the TNT and amusements. They have a show floor, and then they have an exhibition room where they have like all the machines that are for sale in an actual arcade that you can go in there and play.
Oh, nice.
So you can go in there and play the machine without actually going in there and buying it.
I know they had also like a film footage where you could watch old animated films. I think it was like, what is it, 54, 55, some whatever the reel is. And they were selling some of those too. But yeah, no,
like reel-to-reel projectors and stuff, yeah.
I was, because I only caught on to that when he was showing his, when he got like a new arcade cab and he was looking to fix it up. Good game, Coco. Once again.
But yeah, like, I'm just looking at it. They actually have like a whole party room floor sort of thing. They have like rooms that you can rent out in the place. They have a full fucking bar, and then they have a showroom floor where they sell fucking arcade machines. It's great. Fuck,
I like
man.
that. Yeah, no.
There should be a place like this in fucking Illinois.
Why do I feel like if Adam shows up, he's gonna have another beer slapped out of his hand
by what's his nut?
The quartering.
James Rolfe.
Oh, quartering.
It would have to be James Rolfe. It's in fucking Pennsylvania.
Oh shit.
No, I just imagine somehow the quarter shows up the exact same day as I.
He would. That fucking cheesehead Wisconsinite motherfucker.
Adam will be drinking a beer. He'll be talking with him, slap that shit out of Adam's head.
It's weird. Like I'm looking at their selection of stuff. Nothing's really standing out. They have Hydro Thunder. That's cool.
Hydro Thunder.
They have DDR.
What's it called? Quick and Crash. I think it's called the Namco light gun game. Quick and Crash. I think it's called. That's the only one I really want to play. Did they officially close GameWorks out here in Chicago?
They did.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been gone for a while.
Damn it. And the
we also this is up to their office. We also sell shuffle bowling, air hockey, skee ball, jukeboxes, 45 or CD, neon signs, and checks hockey.
Oh,
so they have a full-on fucking arcade that you can just come in here and play, and then they also have a showroom.
And
they do both.
Appeal to the Canadians.
Yeah.
Checks hockey.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about that pandering?
Yeah, how do you feel about that there, Canadian lady? I'm sorry.
Being pandered to by a store that has checks hockey.
Well, no, it's entirely my fault. I just got my ass handed to me, and that's my apologies, Jen. But what do you think about that, Jen?
Fucking Hydro Thunder. Hell yeah. I love that game.
Just another... Oh, man. I'm not gonna get...
What's really kind of weird, too, is that they have these, like, little... Oh, Primal Rage! They have little tiny, fucking doors that are, like, the size of your, like a grown man's, maybe, like, knee. And they're designed for kids to run between all of the rooms.
Or like kids... This is like a Willy Wonka type thing?
Yeah!
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but I love it.
Oh, no.
You think that it's for kids, it's just for the midgets.
And they...
Just for midgets?
They have midgets.
A kid goes to open one of those doors, they immediately...
I'm more worried about the people who are licking the wallpaper.
You're just temporarily short. Those doors are for the people that are permanently that way.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. Sorry.
It's weird. They've got, like... They've got cocktail tables that don't go anywhere.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind either a Dig Dug or a Pac-Man cocktail table.
Cocktail tables for a long time were like weird arcade machines. They were always more expensive for no reason. Because people fucking wanted them like a lot. They wanted them.
Or Burger Time. I don't think.
See, when you had that pause between cocktail and table, I was trying to figure out what a Dig Dug cocktail would be.
Whatever it is, it's got to inflate you.
Oh,
you know,
no.
Because that's what cocktail, what in Dig Dug does, you know.
To be honest,
then how would you tell the difference between a Sonic cocktail and a Dig Dug cocktail? Is it just the color?
To be honest, I'm surprised that Namco hasn't jumped on the idea of making plushes of the little balloon characters and dragon characters that is in Dig Dug.
Super Zaxxon.
Ooh.
For $1,199. Every single one of the machines in their like arcade area too is for sale. That's really fucking cool. Fuck, man, I wish they'd have someplace like this in Illinois. The fuck?
That's what I mean, dude. We need more arcade places out here.
Well, I'm just saying... a place that you could buy arcade machines.
Oh.
Or at least sample them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
Something that's more advanced than just Pac-Man, you mean?
Oh yeah, a little bit more.
Daytona, USA.
Oh, Daytona!
Daytona! For $1,499, and it's a full sit-down.
Yo.
I can't see Hydro Thunder. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on! Oh, this is the front entrance. Okay, cool. Welcome to TNT Amusements.
And I just noticed the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little late.
Hold on.
I was gonna tell jokes that I've been telling Monkey, because I don't know what it is, but lately I've just been one-lining it with Monkey. But last week he was making a yellow brick road joke, and so I told him, listen, Monkey, if the yellow brick road starts resembling a pair of stairs, I'd like you to avoid that. You need to remember those are your nemesis. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's a little dark. But he liked it. And then the next day I was like, holy shit, I caught one of his streams, because those are always going to be random. Even if he does pick 8 o'clock as his common denominator, which he might. I don't know if he's going to today, though, because he's done several streams today. I had to. I know everyone's been grilling him about the monkeypox, but I was just like, I've been wanting to ask him for like a week, and I was just like, so how's that monkeypox buttering the turtle cave going for you, Monkey? And so he put me in the corner.
Well, once you brought up the turtle butter, I think that's where he got
The turtle cave or turtle butter tongue cave.
Buttering the turtle cave.
Well, yeah, that's but Adam said turtle butter, so turtle butter the tongue cave.
Yes, the cave of the butter and turtles.
Cave of the butter.
Though I still prefer the other version of tongue punch the turtle cave.
Well, it's just you guys also know that part of that story is also because some of the spread was, probably because of butt stuff.
Of course.
Yeah,
I would venture a guess it's mostly butt stuff.
Well, I mean,
most of the cases are traced immediately back to the gay fetish meeting in Germany.
Dude, Adam.
What?
I'm telling you right now, it's dangerous for me to see this place and then like have money and go to Pennsylvania. Right here, for sale, $14.99 Sunset Riders.
What?
4-player Sunset Riders.
Oh.
I would fucking buy that in a heartbeat.
I'm telling you. Hold on. That's a nice pickup. But we also are at the end of the show. I wanna thank all of you for hanging out. I also want to thank the panel for coming out and having some riveting chat. Shit, yeah, it was good. I'm glad I'm recording this. Let's just say that.
Yes.
As opposed to also.
You're gonna use it against me later, aren't you?
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna edit.
I'm gonna edit it up and chop it up. The sound bites and all that. But yes, we also live, and it's the Minions of the Zoo. Oh shit! Wow. Okay. Well, since we are at the end of the show, I'm gonna close up the arcade. Everybody's gonna have to go home. I'm gonna go and check the machines, make sure I got enough coinage. But before we go, would any of y'all like to say some closing thoughts?
You first.
I'm going to be hosting tomorrow. I know I wasn't this last week, but that was because I started on my first second shift position. That is suspended because of Memorial Day, since it's Monday, so I will be able to host the stream tomorrow. But expected to go back to normal the week after, because I'll be gone from 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. So I am at work during Minions. It doesn't matter how early it gets or how late it gets. It's just I'm going to be there. So
Right on.
So looking forward to that. I'm able to paint tomorrow.
Nice.
Fair enough. I'll leave off with my standard of if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it and don't let it devour you.
All right.
I have two thoughts. One, I have to admit, I had this thought last week of actually sending you something, Quiz. Like, I honestly have a lot of money I have to save up for because I have things I want to send to people. But it was mostly going to be a joke. Because I made this joke last week about how funny it would be if I sent you one of my... So this technically wasn't mine. It was an ex-roommate of mine who owes me money, but kind of bailed on me. He left...
So it's yours.
It's mine.
Yes.
It's an old Street Fighter. I'm making sure I get her right. Street Fighter figurine. And it's you know, you might need a little bit of glue to fix her stand and, you know, maybe repaint a little bit because she's a little faded. But I was like, you know what'd be funny as shit is if I sent you her with the intentions that you do whatever the fuck you want with her. I know you can't really do this for Warhammer, but just like if you could. It's a joke.
You do know that Street Fighter is one of my absolute favorite video games of all time, Jen.
Also, I'm worried about the phrasing of so that you can do whatever you
do
want.
whatever.
Like she's gonna
Wink, not judge.
Well, he does figurines.
I don't appreciate your implications, sir.
I mean, he does figurines and stuff. So I mean, like that's kind of what I mean with that one. But yeah, if you wanted to do whatever the hell you wanted with your figurine, I'm not gonna judge. But no, I just thought it would be cool as shit if you did.
Enjoy your Blanca figure there.
I don't know if you can fix something like that up or if you would, but yeah, I thought about that.
The figurine ends up in a jar and Inquisitors insisting.
Hey now.
No, man, it's a
Hey now.
jar. It's a Gura reference.
I'm not gonna lie, if I had a Gura Nendoroid, I would totally do that.
Yeah, stick her in the chum jar.
Yeah,
that's the character too. it's Chun-Li. I was waiting for someone to say her name just because it's one of those things where like I know her name.
Hold on, didn't the Chun-Li figure have like a kick action type of thing where you can?
She's in the pink Chinese dress outfit, so she's doing the leg thrust kick. Yeah, and she's got she does have a sword too. The sword thing.
She has a sword.
Yeah, it came with the sword. I think they had the sword because it helps her stand.
Oh, no.
Did you just run into that fire because you didn't want?
No, I mean the stand that came with her.
It came... Adam, I was watching the gameplay.
Oh no, that's
a barrel and fire and just ran.
It's just a demo.
It's just a demo mode. Okay.
Yeah, you could have.
It just looked like
I got my hand on my winker waiting for the end bell so I can start watching some porn.
Oh God!
Sorry, yeah. I'll get to my last thing. Also, I wanted to say thank you, Adam, for having me on. And sorry I couldn't help you last week because I was in bed already.
No,
because I usually do 3:30s in the morning. But if I ever respond, you're supposed to tell me to go to bed.
Well, hold on. Don't worry about it. You know, look, if you're on the show and you feel like you're pressured to be on there, I don't think you're gonna get a good response within. This was an organic type of thing. Sanguine, you said you were just gonna pop in for a bit, but somehow we managed to have this this expressive conversation, and I appreciate that. That's awesome. I
completely lose track of time once I get Gavin.
That's it. I look forward to more of this. But yes, before we close out, we good?
Yeah, we're absolutely good.
Well, I appreciate everybody joining us at the zoo for the Sunday evening. I appreciate the panel for coming on and hanging out with me and sharing our thoughts on the goings-ons of the goings-ons. But you know what? I love you all, and God bless.
Have a good night, all.
Have a good night, guys. Enjoy the pollen. I know I'm not.